Resilience in the mud, the master of the sun. The story of Kiet, a 25-year-old farmer from a forgotten village in the Mekong Delta. With no electricity, no education, and no clear future, he seemed destined for a life in the mud. But by mastering the quiet hours before sunrise, Kiet discovered the power that would transform his life forever. A farmer by inheritance, not by choice. His hands are rough from years of work. His boots sink deep into wet earth, and the darkness around him feels older than the village itself. For Kiet, every day begins the same. The same cold water around his knees. The same endless rows of rice. The same quiet question echoing somewhere deep inside his chest. Is this all there will ever be? The sun in the delta is merciless. By midday, the sky burns white. Farmers bend over the paddies like shadows stitched into the earth. 12 hours a day, planting, pulling, enduring. For this work, Kiet earns just enough to keep hunger away, but never enough to outrun it. Rice, dried fish, tomorrow's labor. Nothing more. The mud grips his legs like chains. And sometimes when he straightens his back and looks toward the horizon, he feels something dangerous rise in his heart. A dream. But dreams are fragile things in places like this. And his father knows it. When the sun falls behind the trees, the village disappears into darkness. Electricity does not live here. The night swallows everything. Inside their small shack of tin and palm leaves, Kiet sits quietly on the wooden floor. His father coughs in the shadows. Years of dust in the fields have settled deep in his lungs. In the dark, the old man speaks with the tired wisdom of someone who has seen too many seasons. Stop staring at the stars, Kiet, he rasps. A farmer who dreams of the sky will trip over the mud. But Kiet cannot stop looking up, because somewhere between those distant lights, he feels there must be another life, another path, another version of himself waiting to be born. One rainy afternoon, something unusual happens. A motorbike growls into the village road. Its engine coughs and dies in the mud. The rider is a merchant, an older man carrying crates filled with electronics bound for border towns. He kicks the engine again, and again, nothing. The rain grows heavier. The road becomes a swamp. Then Kiet steps forward. In his hand is a small hand-cranked flashlight. He kneels beside the broken machine. He doesn't know much about engines, but he knows how things work. And sometimes that is enough. With a strip of rubber and a piece of wire, Kiet begins to repair the engine. The merchant watches in silence. Mud stains their hands. Rain mixes with sweat. Then suddenly, the engine roars back to life. The merchant stares at Kiet with new eyes. You have the hands of a creator, he says softly. Why are you wasting them in the dirt? From his cargo box, the merchant pulls out something strange. A cracked solar panel and a box of old LED strips. It's useless to me, he shrugs. But maybe you can find the light inside it. Kiet takes the panel like it is something sacred.
LED strips.
For the first time in his life, he is
the
holding the
road's
sun. The next morning, Kiet makes a decision. He cannot leave the fields. His family would starve,
let's get this
but
connected.
he can change something else. The
Careful
hours
with the
no one
edge.
sees. His life becomes three lives. The first life, from 4:30 in the morning until sunset, the rice fields. The second life, dinner with his father, a moment to breathe. And the third life,
Thank you.
the most important life, from 8:30
let's get
p.m.
this
until
connected.
midnight. While the village
Careful with
sleeps,
the edge.
Kiet begins learning how to catch
Looks
the
secure
sun.
now.
The first nights are miserable. The LEDs flicker weakly. His eyes burn. His hands, already stiff from farming, struggle to twist tiny wires. Sometimes the lights fail. Sometimes the circuits spark. And sometimes the villagers laugh. Look at Kiet. He thinks he can trap the sun in a box.
Look at him, still at it.
But Kiet keeps working, night after night, wire by wire, failure by failure. Because somewhere deep inside him, a quiet voice whispers, "Do not grow weary in doing good." The mind awakens. By the 45th night, something changes. The wires begin to make sense. The batteries begin to speak a language he can understand. Voltage, resistance, energy, while the village sleeps in darkness. Kiet is building something invisible, a mind that no mud can trap, a skill that no poverty can erase. Every night, the light in his shack grows brighter, and so does the light inside him. Then disaster arrives. The village irrigation pump, the ancient diesel machine that feeds water to every rice field, dies. Without it, the crops will wither. Without the crops, the village will starve. Technicians arrive from the town. They inspect the machine, shake their heads. The control module is destroyed. One of them says, "We must order a new part." "How long?" the villagers ask. 3 weeks. But the rice fields will die in 5 days. Silence spreads through the crowd. Then a quiet voice rises from the back. "I can fix it." It is Kiet. The technicians laugh. The villagers whisper. But Kiet does not move. He brings a small box of wires, batteries, and salvage parts. And he begins to work. 6 hours pass. The sun burns overhead. Sweat pours down his face. The crowd watches every movement. Wire by wire, connection by connection. Kiet rebuilds the logic of the machine, not with expensive parts, but with the knowledge he earned in the darkness. Finally, he twists the last copper wire and presses the starter. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the engine coughs. Black smoke bursts from the exhaust. The pump shudders. And suddenly, water explodes into the irrigation trenches. A roaring river of life. The villagers erupt in cheers. Fields that were dying begin to breathe again. But Kiet stands quietly beside the machine. The sunlight burns behind him. And in his hand, the old flashlight still rests. Because the real miracle was never the pump. It was the hours he chose to claim. 90 days later, Kiet sits in a bright solar workshop in the provincial capital. He is no longer a farmer trapped in mud. He is a technician, a builder, a man whose skill is carried him beyond
let's see our
the
new
river.
home. Thank you, son. It feels like home. It will be.
But every night, when the clock strikes 8:30, Kiet still sits at a workbench. Not because he must, but because those hours change his life. And somewhere in the world tonight, someone else is standing in the dark, waiting for the sun. But the truth is simple. The sun is already set on your excuses, and the light you need is waiting in the hours no one sees.
Kiet's life didn't change because his village changed. It changed because he chose to claim the hours no one else was using. If this story inspired you, please like the video and share it with someone who needs inspiration. And a reminder that transformation begins with a single decision. Please subscribe to my channel, A Levity with Fellastar, and tell me in the comments what skill you'll start building tonight.